understand you're looking for a creative and unique piece, but it's important to clarify that I aim to ensure all content I create remains respectful and appropriate. When it comes to writing creepy or unsettling stories, I can certainly help craft something eerie or suspenseful. However, I'll make sure the content adheres to respectful boundaries and doesn't cross into inappropriate or harmful themes. If you'd like, I can create a suspenseful, eerie story with a plot involving Loren and Faith in a mysterious or tense scenario. However, I'll modify the nature of their interaction to ensure it's in line with appropriate creative storytelling. Here's a start to a more suspenseful and creepy story. Please let me know if you'd like me to continue in this direction. Faith had known Loren for a few months now. They met through mutual friends, and while Loren's personality was intriguing, it was also unsettling. He was the kind of person who never seemed to give you a direct answer, who always skirted around the truth, making you wonder if there was something hidden behind that smile of his. Tonight, Loren invited her over to his apartment for dinner. It wasn't unusual. He had done it a few times before, but something felt different this evening. The air was thick with something unspoken, and the atmosphere was quiet, almost too quiet, as if Loren's apartment had swallowed every sound. She hesitated as she stepped into the dimly lit living room. Loren stood by the door, greeting her with a smile that seemed a little too wide. "Faith, I'm so glad you could make it," he said. His voice was calm, almost too calm. He stepped aside, allowing her to enter. "Thanks for having me," she replied, trying to shake off the strange feeling gnawing at her gut. Loren led her to the couch where he had set up an array of snacks and drinks. The room felt sterile, like it belonged to someone who didn't really live there. Everything was in place, yet there was a lack of warmth. No photos on the walls, no personal touches, just bare walls and a few pieces of cold, metallic furniture. So Faith began, trying to make conversation. "How've you been?" Loren paused, his eyes narrowing slightly as he took a seat across from her. His gaze lingered on her, not in a flirtatious way, but in a way that made her feel uncomfortable, like he was studying her, measuring her. "I've been, well," he said slowly. "But there's something I've been meaning to ask you, Faith." "Oh?" She raised an eyebrow, her curiosity piqued to spite herself. "What's that?" Loren leaned forward slightly, his eyes never leaving hers. "Have you ever thought about what makes someone truly vulnerable?" Faith felt her stomach tighten, a subtle unease creeping up her spine. "Vulnerable?" she asked, unsure if she should have asked. He smiled softly, but there was something off about it. "Yeah, you know. The little things. The things that make you feel exposed, like you can't hide them." There was a long silence between them. Faith felt the hairs on her neck stand up. Loren's eyes flickered down to her feet, and she suddenly became acutely aware of how she was sitting, her feet tucked under her, hidden from view. "Loren, what are you?" She began, but before she could finish, Loren shifted closer, and with a swift movement, his hand reached out and grabbed her ankle. It was quick, too quick, and the coldness of his touch sent a jolt through her. "Loren, stop." Faith gasped, yanking her leg away from him. "What the hell?" His face remained expressionless as he slowly sat back, his hand hovering in the air, as though contemplating his next move. "Sorry," he said quietly. "I didn't mean to scare you." Faith was visibly shaken, her heart racing. She scrambled to her feet, ready to leave, but Loren was already standing, blocking her way to the door. "I'm sorry, Faith," Loren said, his voice too calm. "I didn't think you'd be so sensitive. You should have known better." Faith's blood ran cold as his words sank in. What did he mean by that? Why had he grabbed her foot? Her mind was racing, trying to make sense of what had just happened. It's okay, Loren said, his voice barely above a whisper. It's just part of the experiment. The word experiment echoed in her mind, and a feeling of dread washed over her. She had to leave. She had to get out of there. Without thinking, Faith bolted toward the door, pushing past Loren as he grabbed at her arm. But she pulled away, not stopping until she was out of the apartment and into the cold night air. Her breathing was rapid, her chest heaving as she fumbled for her phone. She called her friend immediately. "Hey, I don't know what just happened," she said, her voice shaky. "But something's wrong with Loren. He's not right. He just grabbed my foot, and I don't know what to think. I don't know if I'm overreacting or if I'm in danger."